Right now, someone is reading you better than you read yourself. They see your hesitation, your need for approval, your silence, and every second you stay unaware, you are giving away control without even realizing it. You think you are observing people, but in reality, you are the one being studied. Your micro reactions, your tone, your posture, all of it is data. And people who understand this do not guess, they calculate. The dangerous part is not that they exist. The dangerous part is that you were never taught how to see them. You were taught to be open, to be honest, to be trusting, and you believe that would protect you. But it did not protect you. It made you predictable. It made you easy to read. It made you easy to influence. Your kindness became information. Your reactions became patterns. And those patterns became leverage. This is not because you are weak. This is because you were never shown the rules of psychological awareness. While you were playing fair, others were learning how to read behavior, detect intention, and quietly control outcomes. But now everything changes. Because once you see clearly, you cannot unsee. There was a man who understood this long before modern psychology gave it a name. Niccolo Machiavelli saw human behavior without illusion. He understood that people do not reveal themselves through what they say, but through what they cannot hide. And that is where your power begins. The first thing you must learn is to watch baseline behavior. Every person has a natural way of acting when they are comfortable. That is their default state. The moment that changes, even slightly, something is happening beneath the surface. You have seen this before. Someone acts just a little different, but you ignore it. That difference is not random. That is truth leaking through control. If you start paying attention to patterns instead of isolated actions, you will begin to see people for who they really are. The second thing is silence. Silence is one of the most powerful psychological tools you can use. People are uncomfortable with it. They rush to fill it. And when they do, they reveal more than they intended. If you stop trying to control every conversation and simply observe, you'll notice how quickly people expose themselves. Stay calm. Stay quiet. Let them talk. The third is the eyes. The body can lie. Words can be controlled. But the eyes struggle to hide intention. Watch for hesitation, avoidance, or unnatural focus. These are signals, not accidents. They are moments where control slips and truth appears. If you train yourself to notice these small details, you will start to understand people on a deeper level than they expect. The fourth is understanding power dynamics. People constantly adjust their behavior based on how they perceive you. If you appear uncertain, they will take control. If you appear grounded and certain, they will follow your lead. This is not about dominance. It is about presence. When you control your internal state, you influence the entire interaction without saying much. Drop this in the comments. I control the energy. The fifth lesson is inconsistency. When someone's words and actions do not match, do not ignore it. That gap is where their real self exists. People often say what sounds right, but they act based on what they believe or want. If you focus on behavior instead of language, you will never be misled. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. The sixth lesson is pressure. Anyone can appear calm when everything is easy. But when stress enters the situation, the mask begins to crack. Watch how people react when things go wrong. Do they become aggressive, avoidant, defensive, or composed? That reaction is not temporary. That is their true character surfacing. Drop this in the comments. I see the real you. The seventh lesson is desire. Every action is driven by something a person wants. It could be validation, control, security, attention, or power. If you identify what someone values most, you can understand their decisions before they even make them. People move toward what they want and away from what they fear. Once you see that clearly, their behavior becomes predictable. Drop this in the comments. I see through illusions. Now everything connects. The patterns, the reactions, the contradictions, the silence, the pressure, all of it forms a complete picture. You're no longer guessing. You are observing with intention. The old version of you, the one who trusted blindly and missed signals, is gone. The old you is dead. You are a weapon pointed at your own future. not to harm, but to protect your awareness. You belong to no one, not to expectations, not to manipulation, not to hidden influence. You decide what you accept and what you reject. Most people will never reach this level of awareness because it requires attention, discipline, and honesty. But now you have seen it. And once you see it, you cannot go back to being unaware. So now the only question left is simple. Will you continue living on autopilot, or will you start observing with intention? Because the moment you truly understand people, everything changes. Your conversations change. Your decisions change. Your boundaries become stronger. And your presence becomes something others cannot easily influence. Subscribe if you choose awareness over ignorance. Not because you are told to, but because you understand what is at stake. And now think about this carefully. What is one moment in your life where someone's actions did not match their words, but you ignored it anyway?